Start, sir.
Yeah. Here, parametric representation of lines. So, what is parametric representation? Hello, hello. Can you tell me what is parametric representation is? Hello, hello. Can anybody tell me what is parametric representation is? Yes, anybody from your side? What is parametric representation? We convert all the variables, whether it is independent variable or dependent variable, in terms of another parameter, constant parameter, or not constant, another parameter. Uh, that is called as actually parametric representation. If you have 2D system, then 2D system we have x and y coordinates. We write x and y coordinate in terms of parameter. So generally you will find that parameters are given by maybe the letter u, or sometimes it is written by s, or sometimes in some books even it is referred as t, or sometimes theta. Okay, so we write all these x, y coordinates, or if it is 3D system, then x, y, z coordinates in terms of that coordinates. Okay, what is the reason or what is its advantage? We already discussed that. What is flexibility? You can see here it is that we have more degrees of freedom controlling shape of the curve and surfaces than to the non-parametric curves. Then infinite slopes can be handled very easily. Transformation is easy, and so many are there. So you don't have to worry. Just know this two, three. That is sufficient. Actually, there are far better its users as compared to the your implicit function or explicit functions, or explicit equation or implicit equations. Okay, now you will find now parametric representation of a line. Our CAD system, whether it is any software, you will find all your these equations are written in terms of parametric representation only. Now we come back to uh, um, what is meant by parametric representation of a line. Now in this sketch, what you see on the screen, we have one sketch, and actually what it shows is something different, correct? This is x, y, z. This is your Cartesian coordinate system. This is for your understanding only. Actually, this is not required. That means actually you will find when you write parametric equation, it is independent of any uh, coordinate system. Okay, and that is the main advantage of our modeling softwares. That is, they are independent of any coordinate system. That means this coordinate system is not required. So now, if you want to draw a line of 5 units, so you don't have to start with the origin only. You can start from anywhere in a space, and you can draw a line of 5 unit length. That is actually the main advantage of parametric function. Okay, now here, just it is for your reference, for your understanding, how to write a parametric equation of a line. Now you'll find this, we have x, y, and z as a homogeneous, sorry, this is your Cartesian coordinate system. Now we have a line called as P1, two points, if you say, not a line. First, you consider first point is P1. This is located here exactly. Okay. I'll just take a moment. Yeah. This is your point number P is here. Okay. Another point is P2 here. Okay. Now P1 and P2. These are the 2 points. Now you want to draw a line. You have already drawn a line between P1 and P2. So what is the line? It is the shortest distance between the 2 points. So we already drawn a line between P1 and P2. Okay. Now we will find that when we say that point P1 is there here, it will have the actually with reference to XYZ coordinate. Now we don't require XYZ coordinate, but for your better understanding, you can say that when P1 is point is there, it is at a distance of P1 from the origin, and P2 is at a distance of P2 from the origin. Okay, now you can calculate this distance by the distance formula. That is, if you consider x1, y1, z1 as the coordinate of P1 and x2, y2 and z2 as the coordinate of point P2. Okay, now distance of P1 from origin would be x1 minus 0 bracket square plus y1 minus 0 bracket square plus z1 minus 0 bracket square, and all these three terms come under root. That will give the distance of P1 with respect to origin by using the distance formula. When you say we are using the distance formula, we are using the this Cartesian coordinate system into the picture. Okay. Similarly, you can find out here. So we can say P1 and P2 is the distance. Now we assume that point P is there. Point P is there. Now this is line on a line P1 to P2. Now we want to express this point P in terms of not Cartesian coordinate system. We can say it is X, Y, Z, and then you can calculate this. But we want this should be represented in terms of your parametric form. Now, when we write in this parametric form, now we will write this P. This point P is now whatever the coordinates of P1 would be there. Coordinates of P1, okay. Coordinates of P1, coordinates of P1 is here. Coordinates of P1 plus this distance. Which distance? P minus P1 distance is added in this. You can see this. So this whatever the coordinates of P1 plus this distance will represent point P. Is it clear now? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now P is coordinates of P1 plus this distance. Distance is between P to P plus P minus P1. That means P minus P1 is this distance. So actually P would be P1 plus whatever the coordinates of P1 plus this distance will give P. So whether this equation is understood to you? Hello? Have you understood this equation?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Okay. Now what we have written, this P minus P1, okay, this P minus P1, this distance, okay, can you say that it is proportional, it is actually equals to P2 minus P1, U times P2 minus P1. Can you write this? Now assume P2 minus P1 is the total length of a line. Just I am only explaining this part now. P2 minus P1 is the line, correct? Hello? P2 minus P1 is actually the length of a line. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so P2 minus P1 is total line. Now it is equals to U times P2 minus P1. What is U? What U? U stands for?
This is parameter.
U stands for what?
Parameter.
Yes, parameter. How the parameter changes? What is the U? You can find U. What is the value of U would be? Here, U varies from 0 to 1. Correct? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, for just for your time sake, assume that P is exactly middle of P2 minus P1, correct? For, for an example, P is exactly at the center between P2 and P1. Okay? Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now that means what will the value of U would be there in that case? P2 minus P1 is total length. Now what would be the U? Now as we say it is at exactly center. That means value of U will be from exactly between 0 to 1. So it will be equals to 0.5. Hello?
Yes, sir. Point.
Correct, na? What the value of U would be? U will be equals to 0.5. If you assume that point P is exactly at the center, then the value of U would be at 0.5. So 0.5 of P2 minus P1 means exactly half. Correct? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Correct. So we'll find P minus P1. This distance is half of P2 minus P1. Indirectly we are writing in terms of U. Same distance, P minus P1. This is P minus P1. This is same distance. P minus P1. What we are writing P minus P1 as? It is U times P2 minus P1. Correct. Means, for example, it is half of P2 minus P1. Okay, so in first one, this P minus P1 is replaced by U P2 minus P1. Correct? Hello? And you will get this parametric equation of a line. P will be equals to P1 plus this one now. This P minus P1 we are written first. So P minus P1 equals to U times P2 minus Pu. We have agreed, okay, we can write this in this form. So P minus P1 value is replaced by U P2 minus P1 in this first equation. So we get P equals to P1 plus U times P2 minus P1, where U varies from 0 to 1. Now we'll check. Yesterday also we have checked. Now here also we will check whether this satisfies the equation or not. Now consider the case that actually point P is at P1 only. Okay. Consider P is equals to P1. Then what will the parameter? When P is equals to P1, what will U will be equals to how much?
0.
If you consider this P, yeah, if you assume that P is now P1 only, U would be 0. Correct. Now check what would happen here. This U becomes 0. That means P2 minus P1, some value is there. It is multiplied by 0. That means this total term would be 0. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Yeah. If this total term is 0, that means P will be equals to P1. Correct? Point P lies at P1. That is the what we assume that P is at P1. This is proved. Okay. Now assume that now point P is at P2. Okay. If you put point P at P2, value of U would be equals to what is the value of U would be equals to 1. Okay. Now if you put U equals to 1, what will happen? This term, this will be equals to P1, okay, as it is plus 1 times P2 minus P1 means we can write it as P2 minus P1 only. It will be P2 minus P1, correct? Can I write like this? When U equals to 1, point P will be equals to P1 plus P2 minus P1, correct? Here value of U is
Yes, sir.
1. So actually this P1 will and this P1 will get cancelled. This P1 and this P1 will get cancelled. We'll get the answer P is equals to P2. Correct? That means it satisfies at the extreme points also. So now if you want to represent point P at any point between anywhere, put value of U. U is 0 is here, U is 0.1 here. Now you want exactly at 0.1. 10% from this side, that means 0.1. Put value of U as 0.1. Okay, so P1 plus 0.1 into P2 minus P1, that will give you new point somewhere here at somewhere here. 0.2 will be here, 0.4 will be here, 0.5 is here, 0.6 will be here, 0.7 will be here, 0.8 will be here, 0.9 will be here. So substitute the value of U as 0.9, you will get here. So U, what should be the value of U? You have to decide. Accordingly, you will get number of points. If you get more number of points, that means now you assume that we have only 2 points. Okay. Now you don't know how to draw a line or it is a curve. If it is a straight line, okay, you can draw very easily. Now if you want to draw a curve, what will happen? Okay, that will come later on. Is this okay? You go to the circle, then you will, I will explain again actually what value of U is. Now you have understood what is how the line is represented in parametric form. Just remember this: P equals to P1. This is P1 plus U times P2 minus P1. Correct? Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Okay. So, shall we move to the next circle?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So, students are trying to join. Okay. I hope you have understood the parametric equation of a line, correct? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
no,
sir, yes.
no, okay. I will go to the next part, that is parametric representation of a circle. Okay? Our circle for a center and the radius can be written as, can you write this equation, x square plus y square equals to 1?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how much is the radius here? In this equation, how much is the radius? Radius of the circle is how much?
One minute.
1 unit, correct. This is actually x square plus y square to c square. As it is 1, its square root of 1 square will be 1 only. So 1 is the radius of a circle. Okay. Now 1 is the radius of a circle. Now which is this equation? Which type of equation is this? Parametric form, explicit form, or implicit form? Hello? Which type of equation is this?
Implicit form.
Implicit form. Because all variables are on one side, it is equated to some constant. Okay? All parameters, variables are on one side, they are equated to one constant. So this is actually, I will say this is an implicit equation. Now substitute x as u, okay, as parameter. Then what we can write, y will be equal to under root 1 minus u square. Can you write this? equation. In this equation, we'll put x as u, so it will be u square plus x square y square equals to 1. So y will be equals to 1 minus u square under square root. Correct? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now this is actually what we say. This is poor and non-uniform definition. Square root complicated to compute. That means if you see, if you draw only a quarter of a circle, okay, I am only drawing a quarter of a circle, starting from x to y. Okay, now you put the value of u as 1, which x is u, means if value of x is, now we will start with 1. If x is 1, or if we start with 0. If x is 0, what will the value of y would be? Yes? If x is 0, what is the value of y?
1. 1.
1. If you can see here, when x is 0, value of y is 1 here. Correct? Can you see this? See, in this, put x as 0 means u as 0. This would be 0 under root of 1. Under root of 1 is 1. So you'll find when x is 0, okay, x is on this side, y is on this vertical axis. When value of x is 0, y is 1. Now substitute x as 0.25. Now x is u, so it varies from 0 to 1. Now x as 0.25. So 1 minus 25 bracket square. So check it how much it comes. If you put x as 0.25, so 1 minus 0.25 bracket square. So how much it is?
$0.9.
Yeah, 0.9 something. That means whatever it is shown here, it is correct, this point. Hello? That means this point is 0.9 something, correct? 0.9, I will put this is 0.9, right? 0.9, correct? This is that point. Now what will be this point when you will say x is 0.5, 1 minus 0.5 bracket square.
.86.
Point? Yes, point?
86. 86.
Yes, 6, okay. So seems to be correct because 86 would be somewhere here on this scale, correct? Now 0.75.
.66.
0.66. 0.66. Actually, this would be point somewhere here. Yeah. Now 0.66 is, if you consider that part, so it will be exactly somewhere here. Now you understood the poor and non-uniform definition. Now this is uniformly distributed. Hello? This is 0 to 0.25 is equal. Equal interval is there, na? X is varying interval, or u is not here. X is varying uniformly. 0.25 difference. Here also 0.25 difference. Here also 0.25 difference, and here also 0.25 difference. Okay. So x is varying uniformly, whereas you can see y is not varying uniformly. Now, if you draw a circle, now you are actually drawing a circle. So you got only 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 points. Now put x as 0 here, x as 1. So that means u as 1. What will happen here? 1 minus 1, 0. Y will be 0. So it is exactly 0 here. So y is 0 here. That means we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 values of y. When you have changed the value of x as 0, 0.25, 0.5, 0.75, and 1. So you got, this is 1 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 respective values. When x is 0, y is 1. When x is 0.25, y is 0.9 something. When x is 0.5, y is 0.86 something. Point is there. When x is 0.75, y is 0.66 something. Now when x is 0, then when x is 1, y is 0. Okay, so if you plot the graph, or we can say if you try to draw, you'll find a small distance is here. Okay, it seems to be correct, but you'll find when you put the lines here, see the last line. Actually, we should get to some point somewhere here, or something here. But you'll find this is coming straight line, indicating it is non-uniform definition. That means it is not changing uniformly. Actually, you should form uniformly like this, fall like this. Then you will get a smooth curve on this. Okay, so you will get a smooth curve on this if it is a non-uniform definition. Okay, so this is not correct. Whatever the implicit form, that is not correct, that you want to say. So actually, would like to represent this in parametric form. So this is not a parametric form, it was actually implicit form. Only are written here. So this is, sorry, from implicit form, we have written to the explicit form. But you find if you use the explicit form, we don't get the proper definition. That means we get the different lines here, we will get different values, and that is not uniform. That is the problem with the implicit function as well as explicit function. Now you see the next diagram, you will find now we can write x as cos of u and y as sin of u. It is very simple. Why I am putting x of cos of u and sin of u? We put here theta here, varying theta here. Okay, so sin theta would be opposite upon hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is here. Opposite is this. That means actually we get the y coordinates. Okay, so we will get y coordinate. That's sin comes here, and x means adjacent coordinates. So along the x-axis. So we will get the x here. Okay, that means in parametric representation of a circle, we write x as cos of u and y will write sin of u. Now what it says, it is a better definition than a. That means a is here. This was a actually. Whatever you have written a circle, this is better if you put in parametric form instead of implicit or explicit equation. Now this is, you can see, you substitute the value of u is changing from 0 to 1 and the angle is changing from 0 to pi by 2. If you substitute the values here, cos of u as 0 and then pi by 8, pi by 4, 3 by 8 or pi by 2 or equally, value of u varies from 0 to 90. You put different values of u here, that means 0 at 1, 2, 3, 4. So x as u as 0. So cos of u of 0 would be, x would be 1. So x, value of x would be 1 here. Okay, and accordingly x value will change here. Now y value, if you put the angle, it will go here. Okay, but again you find this is not uniform. Okay, it seems to be uniform, but it is very slow. We require a lot of calculations is required. So actually you will find this is represented by this recursive approach. I will explain this. What is this recursive approach is? But have you understood what actually I would like to say here? Circle. Any problem here? Hello?
No, sir.
Hello? No. Here? Okay. You don't have to do a lot of things here. Actually, we are actually using parametric form only, but instead of directly using, we will be using recursive approach. So you'll find this same formula you are using here. So I am not wasting time here. You'll find x is equal to r cos theta, y is also r sin of theta you are using here. So I am not wasting much time here. I will be using this one. Okay, so we will give more time here. So this is called the recursive approach, or this is the approach actually we will be trying to do. So before that, just see this sketch. What you can see on this representation. Now first, this is the first point, yn and xn. Okay, so this is this is first point. We can say this is a pn point, pn. Okay, and this next one is pn plus 1. This is pn plus 1. Are you getting me? Hello? 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 Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Here we have only 2 points we will consider. Don't get confused with what is written on this screen. We'll go one by one. We will consider Pn is the first point. Okay. Its x coordinate is xn. Its y coordinate is yn. Is it okay? X coordinate is xn and y coordinate is yn. Xn is represented here. Yn is represented here. Okay. Now, this is a circle or a circle, part of a circle. Is it okay? What I have shown here, this is a part of a circle. Now, we'll consider another point on the circle. We'll call that point as Pn plus 1, next point. Is it okay? Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Is it okay? We'll consider another point,
Yes, sir.
Pn plus 1. Don't see n plus 1 or n something written. I have said, okay, you can say this is P1 point, this is P2 point. Very simple. Okay? Or can you say P0 point, this is P1 point. Okay, so don't get confused with n plus 1 or something. If you write im plus 1, it becomes complicated. You can say this is P0 point, this is P1 point, or this is P1 point, this is P2 point. So first point and the second point. It's very simple. Okay, now consider the Pn. If you drop a vertical here, this will be your xn. If you draw horizontal here on y-axis, this will be your yn. Now just check. Assume this is theta. This is theta angle made by this hypotenuse. It is theta here. So, can you write this xn? How you write this xn? Okay, what is the cos theta? This is theta. If you say this is angle is theta, now you consider this triangle only, this triangle into the picture. What will the cos theta would be? Now assume this is on a circle, this Pn or P0 or P1, this is a point on a circle. So indirectly this, whatever the length is showing, this is nothing but your r, radius. This is r, this is also r. Okay, so what would the cos theta would be equals to? What is cos theta?
One, sir.
Cos theta is 1. How it will be 1? What is the value of cos theta?
X
How will
upon
cos
R.
theta? Yes, cos theta is
Adjacent side upon
adjacent upon hypotenuse. Correct. So adjacent is xn. Yes. Adjacent is xn for this triangle. Okay. So xn is the adjacent and r is your hypotenuse. That forms cos theta. So we can write xn equals to r cos theta. Are you getting me? Cos theta equals to, you have learned this in adjacent hypotenuse. Okay, what is adjacent here? Adjacent is this side. Okay, this distance is xn. So it will be xn divided by hypotenuse is this r. This distance, this is hypotenuse upper. This is 90-degree angle, right angle triangle is there. So for this xn is r, and this is your cos of theta. Okay, cos of theta. So xn will be equal to r into cos of theta. Same thing is written here. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Okay. Now, if you see similar basis, now what will be the sine theta? Have you read sine theta?
Opposite side upon
opposite.
hypotenuse.
Yes, opposite side. This opposite side upon hypotenuse. Opposite upon hypotenuse. Okay. Opposite side is this one, correct? This is the opposite side. So this length of the side is yn. This y coordinate is there. So we can write opposite is yn. The distance is yn from the origin. This is exactly this distance is yn because this value of Pn is xn and yn. Xn means is distance from origin in x-axis. Yn means distance of the point P from the along the y-axis. So this distance is yn. So opposite is yn, and then the hypotenuse is r. Okay, that is the radius of a circle. So yn we write yn will be equal to r into here is the sine theta. Okay, so we can write yn equals to r sine theta. Same thing is written here. Okay. You understood this one? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now what we do? Now this is we are indirectly we have written Pn. This point is Pn. We have written its Pn. Its coordinates are xn and yn. We have written xn and yn in terms of r cos of theta and r sin of theta respectively. Is it okay? Hello? 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 अरे समझ लगा? Okay. What we do? The part. Okay. Now consider Pn plus 1 point. Okay, Pn plus 1 point. Now, when you say Pn 1 plus point, if you draw the vertical down from this it is x. This point becomes xn plus 1. Is it correct? Hello. This is xn plus 1. Is it correct? Can you write this? Pn n plus point will have two coordinates. One will be x coordinate called as xn plus 1 and y coordinate as yn plus 1. Is it correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes, sir. Yeah, if you drop a perpendicular downside, this point we will look at this as xn plus 1. Correct? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now if you drop a perpendicular on y-axis, this point will become yn plus 1. Is it correct? This point is yn plus 1. Okay, now I would like to consider this triangle now. This triangle. Now this is almost same perpendicular because it is assumed that this point is very close to each other. So this would be a straight line. Okay, so just this arc is shown to know that it is a part of a circle. But when you say if it is circle is there and this distance or angle, this whatever the angle made by this d theta, or whatever the angle, this angle is very very small. So if angle is very small, that means this line would be almost a straight line. Is it okay? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this line would be almost a straight line. Now this, so what will be x n plus 1? So can you say x n plus 1? So what would be this angle made by the this radius O to P n plus 1? It will be, this angle would be theta plus d theta with respect to x axis. Initially this was theta and this is d theta. So what will be the angle made by this O to P n plus 1? That is the radius of this circle. This angle made by this line with respect to x axis. What would this angle would be? What would be its angle?
theta plus d theta.
Exactly. The angle would be this theta plus d theta. That means if you now consider this, now we are interested not this line also. Now we are interested to know this line. Now consider this triangle. Okay, this triangle, from here it will come here and here. Okay, this triangle only, correct? Okay, now r cos of d theta would be how much? Would be this line. Now x plus, what will the value of x n plus 1? What will, how will write this? What will the cos of d theta plus, I want to know what is cos of theta plus d theta would be equals to this angle cos of theta plus d theta, cos of theta plus d theta. It will be this adjacent upon hypotenuse. Hello? Is it clear? Cos of d theta plus, for this triangle what I have shaded, for this particular triangle, can you write cos, this angle is now, it is not theta, because actually angle is theta plus d theta, correct? Cos of theta plus d theta will be equals to how much? Can you say this is xn plus 1?
xn plus
Xn plus 1,
upon
correct?
r.
Yes, x plus 1 upon r, that is correct. Correct. So how will write xn plus 1 then? Xn plus 1 would be equals to how much? R into
r
cos of
cos
r,
theta plus
yes, r into, yes, theta plus d theta. Can you write this? Can you write this? Xn plus 1 will be equals to r into cos of theta plus d theta. I have just written r here, multiplied by r here, I get xn plus 1. Similarly, what we have done here, only thing is, instead of theta, we are considering d theta. Why d theta? Because it is xn plus 1, we are talking about this. The angle has been changed from theta to d theta, theta plus d theta. Okay, so we have xn plus 1 equals to r cos of theta plus d theta. So can I write this equation? Is this correct? Xn plus 1 equals to r cos of into theta plus d theta. Have you understood this equation? It is similar to this. So this was for this triangle. Now this is for this triangle. Any doubt regarding this till now? Hello? हेलो, अरे समझ में गए?
हो सर हो.
समझते? Okay, ठीक. That means we can write xn plus 1 equals to r of cos theta plus theta. Now just remind the formula for r cos of theta plus d theta. R this is nothing but cos of a plus b. So you might have learned this. Okay, so you might have learned this in 11th standard or 12th standard. R cos of a plus b. What is r cos of a plus b? Not r. You don't consider r for time being. This r is multiplied. This cos of a plus b. So cos of a, cos of b minus sin of a and sin of b. Is it clear? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes sir.
Correct. So this is that same formula. This is expression of cos a plus b. So it is r. R is the multiplication factor. That's not an issue. Cos of a into cos of b minus r, again multiplication factor comes here. R sin of a into sin of b. Now what is r cos of theta? R cos of theta is how much? It is xn. See this equation. It is xn is there. Can you substitute r cos of theta as xn? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This xn comes from this. This r cos of theta comes from here. Okay. So cos of theta as it is minus. Now again r sin of theta. We are already saying this r sin of theta is yn. Correct? Yn is r sin of theta. So r sin of theta is being substituted as yn here. Okay, and sin of theta as it is. So xn plus 1, I can write it as xn cos of d theta minus yn sin of d theta, whereas yn plus 1 will be equals to yn cos of d theta plus xn sin of d theta, or we can write xn actually we should write like this only, xn sin of d theta plus yn sin of d theta. Actually what we'll write? We'll be writing the yn plus 1 as r sin of theta plus d theta, and then we'll write sin a plus b formula. Sin a plus b is sin a cos b minus cos b into sin a. If you substitute this value similarly, you will get this equation, or it will be plus not minus. You will get this equation. Okay, so you can try on your own if you wish, and you will get this formula. So this is actually the parametric representation. Circle will be represented like this. I can write in a matrix form xn and yn like this. Okay, xn and yn would be like this. This will be equals to, I can write it as cos theta minus sin theta. This will be your sin theta will come this side because I will write the xn here. So it will be sin theta, and here it will be your cos theta. And again this would be your previous points where x and yn respectively. So here it will be your xn, this will be your yn. So if you multiply these equations, cos theta it will be xn cos of theta minus yn sin for this next line it will be xn sin of theta plus yn cos of theta. Same thing is over here. This is xn plus 1 actually, not xn yn. It is xn plus 1 and yn plus 1. Okay. So this is nothing but your parametric representation of this one. Okay, I think you have the class. Next class you can. I hope you understood this case. So please do it on your own. Try to explain on this one. Try to put things on your own, and then see. What I will do. I will send this PPT to you so you can understand on your own. If you have any doubts, we will discuss it tomorrow. Okay, so you can put your roll numbers in between on the message box, and you can leave the class now, and you can join the next class.
Okay, sir. Thank
Okay, thank you.